Alright, so first I would like to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodash. I also want to say double honors to the apostles and elders of James Drum the Stone and to the Akim out in the highways and edges pushing this truth. Shalom, this is Brother Kanan. You're out here again another Saturday. The props against this evil society, Babylon, Mr. Babylon the Great. You know what I mean? Also to warn our people about, you know what I mean, the time to come. You know what I mean? Which is to prepare them for World War III. You know what I mean? Famine, pestilence, and all the other calamities that exist that the Lord is preparing for this world. You know, we're out here to tell you about these things, how you can escape what is to come. You know what I mean? And to also remind you of who you are. You know what I mean? That you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly, right? That you are the true Israelites, you know what I mean? According to the Bible. You are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know what I mean? And therefore you are the people of God. Alright? Now, you would look in society or looking throughout the world, if you're looking, you know what I mean? And you would see that there are just chaos after chaos. There are a lot of things taking place that would just instantly give an alarm that, hey, something is up, something is going, something crazy is coming up. You know? But in the same breath, even though it is taking place, people are still behaving in a normal way. The times and the things that are taking place would have changed drastically, but our people are still moving in the same direction with the same interests and the same urge, not taking into consideration what the time is saying. You know? So for those who have the understanding of this truth, you know what I mean, we have a spiritual mindset to judge and understand that it was ordained to be this way for majority to die. You know what I mean? But the ones that are moving in that carnal lost state, they are clueless. You know what I mean? They say that it is the end of the time. You know what I mean? And they say, oh, gotta come to him word and all of these things. They say these things, but their actions are so far from what they're saying. As far as the east to the west, that is how they behave, yo. They're saying one thing, but on the other hand, doing something totally different. Meaning showing that they truly don't believe in what they're saying, or they don't have any interest in what they're really saying or seeing. Imagine there are so many, rumors of wars the Bible speaks, which I'm going to get to. So many disasters of record-breaking levels, like they say. You know what I mean? So many activities, so many evils upon this earth today, but people are still going about their daily life as if nothing changes. Which simply means that you're blind, right? So, I'm going to start with the first precept. You know what I mean? This is Matthew 24, and I'm going to start from verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Alright? So you hear Yahushua basically talking to the disciples, giving them warning, of what to look for before the end of this world, end of this age, the end of this society, the end of this the white man reign. And he gave them the list. Like I said, people are seeing these things happening. We saw where Russia and America are making their chess moves consistently, supporting their allies in different regions. Just recently, Russia strengthened an agreement with Venezuela to show their support against who? America. Because America is in the Caribbean at this point, strengthening their allegiance with who? Trinidad, even Jamaica, Guyana, and all these other countries that exist in this region. But the other side doing the same thing with their allies. You know what I mean? But at the same time, people are not recognizing these moves for what they really are. They are not accepting what the reality is, that there will be a World War III, that there will be chaos and calamity, even though you're having chaos and calamity right now. Because in the same breath, we are witnessing Jamaica going through what? Chaos, crisis. And just like we've been saying all along for years upon years upon years about famine and shortage of food and all these things, if that it is not on that mass level as yet, you're getting an example of what is to come. For places like Westmoreland, Trelawney, Anova, St. Elizabeth and Montego Bay, where you're having food issuing out in a crisis state or where you are seeing people behaving as animals, desperation licking people that were so proud and high-minded that you would thought that they would have begged for food. You know what I mean? These same people are hopping on vans for water, for mackerel, for care packages, which are tin food, yo. And again, we're not even in any dangerous situation as yet to what is to come. But even though you're seeing the example, they're saying, oh, but can't believe Jamaica this. I can't believe how Jamaica look like Haiti. We were telling you these things before. We were saying that pretty soon Jamaica will become Haiti. And slowly but surely we are heading that direction, yo. But not only Jamaica, the entire world is heading into that direction. Because we're gonna have worldwide chaos, worldwide civil unrest, worldwide famine, worldwide sedition, war. All these things are gonna take place, yo. You're gonna have people motivating people to do what? To fight, to take up arms. But the prophets will be in highways and edges, warning you of these things and telling you that, yo, turn back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai so that you can be saved. But again, majority won't listen, majority won't take heed, and therefore, majority of you people will die. Alright? Let me continue. So I'm going to jump to the same chapter of Matthew 24. I'm going to jump to verse 37. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. But it's saying, just like back then when Noah was preaching and warning the people about the flood, they were living normal as if no one was talking to them. But when Noah entered into that ark and that door closed and then the flood started, people were screaming and bawling for safety. It was a little bit too late then. The same thing is going to happen in the society, yo. Many of you won't listen or take heed to the warning, but when the chaos reaches its full limit, or it reaches a peak, you'll be running to and fro, seeking the prophets. You know what I mean? Trying to learn the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, trying to learn these scriptures, but it will be too late for you to learn it. Because now is the time when the door of mercy is open up unto you. Now is the time for you to listen, to fear, and to take heed. Right? But you continue on your daily journey as if it's nothing. Alright? Let me continue. Verse 39, Mark 24, verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Right? Right? Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. It says in verse 42, watch therefore. It says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. Alright? You don't know what hour is coming. Therefore, you should be on your guard, looking, watching, observing the time. Right? Knowing what is expected of you when you see certain things is taking place. Preparing yourself for what is to come. But you ain't prepared. You're prepared for the next party. You're prepared for the next event. You're prepared for work. You're prepared for every other thing except for the coming of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright? We'll go to the next precept. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 50. Verse 54. Right? It says, and he said also to the people, when ye see the cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that you do not discern this time? So the Bible is saying, how can you tell when it's going to be rain or it's going to be heat? But you cannot look and see that Russia and America is going toe to toe preparing for World War III. How can you not see? You have a question?
Yes, teacher. You said the Bible is a book.
Right.
The preacher more. Things that take place in the Bible.
Right.
Why it's a property of you? Why it's a kingdom?
Alright, let me see my answer to the question. You're saying that the Bible speaks about African?
Everything. Mount Sinai, Canaan, all of them places are between Africa and the Middle East. Why the Bible is a property of Europe?
Alright, so first and foremost, the Bible is not the property of Europe, right? The Bible is property of the nation of Israel. The book is about the nation of Israel.
Why mark a King James version?
No, King James is an Israelite that lived in Europe. Just as though you have Israelites today live in Europe. You know the family member in Europe?
Israelite.
Yeah. Do you have any family member? Well, I not. Do you have any family members in Europe? You don't have no family member in Europe. But there are people in Jamaica that have family in England and other places.
Oh, you mean like that?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So just as the same, Israelites lived in those regions as well. But we were living in Europe, reigning in Europe. The Byzantine even King James was the last king to reign in Europe.
Black man.
Right. Right. No, the thing is,
I'll tell you what.
alright, so I'm gonna show you, right? But I'm gonna show you from the Bible that the people that are in the Bible are, for most part, are dark-skinned people. Do you believe that?
But that's what I'm supposed to know.
Right. Okay. Right. So the thing is, this is our book, but the so-called white man tried to use it and add religion to it to manipulate people. So we're not a religion or a religious people. We are people of God based on the fact that we are His people. Right. I'm gonna read some quick precepts here to show that there are black people in the Bible. Right. So this is
You know, like, I think Iran is a black man.
But I'm gonna also show you that black doesn't necessarily mean a nationality as well. Alright, so let me just read this one real quick for you. So you know about Solomon? Right? So Solomon was one of the wisest men walk the earth. Right? Or he's the wisest man walk to walk the earth. This is it says Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. It says, I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem. Right? And as the tent of Kedar and the curtains of Solomon. Right? So Solomon is saying that he's so-called black, dark skin. Comely means beautiful. He's beautiful. There's a dark and lovely, dark and beautiful. That's what he's basically saying. Right? And he also, the word Kedar go to Kedar, dark skin. Right? So he's a dark skinned man. We're gonna get that again for in Jeremiah, showing that the so-called Judah, tribe of Judah, is a dark tribe. Right. So you're right. The Bible is for Israelites. You did mention Africa, but we and Africans are not the same. Not because we are so-called dark skinned means that we're the same people. I'm gonna get that for you to show you as well. Right. So this is Jeremiah. Get it real quick. This is Jeremiah. Alright, so this is Jeremiah 14 and verse 2. It says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. Right? So the tribe of Judah is a black tribe. It's a so-called nigger tribe. So there are basically three main tribes that were so-called dark skin. You have Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So the Levites, they are so-called Asians, dark skinned people. Benjamites are so-called West Indians, which is Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Bajans. Those people not in this region, basically they are so-called Benjamites. And Judites are mainly the people in America, the Negroes in America. Right? So we were taken into captivity by the so-called white man, and we were taught his way to start worshiping so-called Jesus Christ, which is not a black man, which Jesus is not the true Son of the Father.
Israel. Someone was scattered in the West Indies.
Yeah, the Bible said that. We were taken from one end of the earth unto the other. We were taken from the
Guyanese, Trinidadian,
yeah.
Jamaican.
They are Israelites.
Part of the
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The majority of the tribes live in the West. There were some of us living over here before.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because the Bible speaks of that, yo. The Bible said that we would be brought from one end of the earth to the next end of the earth to serve captivity by the hands of our enemy. We fled Jerusalem in 70 AD, right? Because it was run by the Romans at one point. And after that siege, we fled. As I said, we fled into so-called west coast of Africa. Built empires there. But then we were taken from that region and brought over here. So if you know about history, know about different culture, different people, you realize that so-called Nigerians and Ghanaians and those people in the west coast of Africa, they are similar to us. And if you go Ghana right now, you fall, you're gonna be like one of them because you look like one of them, you behave like one of them, you have the same people.
We, children of Israel, it was written for we to be slaves.
It was written that because we were not going to fight. So let me give you this. So they were basically like you have a child, right? You have sons, daughters?
Sons.
You have sons, right? So let's say you want your sons to follow certain rules or regulations that you're setting in your house, right? You can say to your son, say, yo, look here, if I keep these rules that I've laid down, I'm going to give you these rewards at the end of the day. But if you don't do it, I'm going to beat you, right? So I say exactly the same thing that the Lord did with us. He gave us rules. I'm going to get it for you. And I'm going to start going to speak. I'm going to read it. Right? So the Lord gave us rules as a people, as a nation of Israel. I said, look here, keep these commandments. And if you keep them, therefore, I'm going to bless you. But if you don't keep them, I'm going to curse you. And a part of the curse was, we're going to go into captivity. I'm going to read it for you, right? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm going to read verse 1 first. Right? I'm going to skip through it. You can read it when you have the time on your hand to do so. Right, but let's get to the points, the major points in it for you, right? So this is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, right? That the Lord thy God will set thee an eye above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So if we were following the laws, then we would have been on top. Right? We would get the chance to put in a slavery. We wouldn't be working for this. If you're looking at Jamaica today, majority of the companies that are owned in Jamaica are owned by white people. Even our private sector, if you look for the money in our private sector, they are white people. The PSOJ and what they can say, they are white people.
Disobedience.
Right.
So some of the law, them still stand now.
All the laws, well, majority of the laws, only the laws that are basically not being, are most of the sacrificial laws, basically, because Yahushua, when they call Jesus Christ, first we call Jesus Christ, he would have done away with those aspects of our.
So the law then supposed to be a covenant.
Right, they're in agreement.
So we break it.
Yes, we break the laws, and I'm going to read it again for you what happened if you break the laws. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the Lord, the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, and I can read for them for you. This is the first one I'm going to read for you.
Some of the laws, some of the covenant, what we break. Tell me what, in today's world, right? We still are breaking the covenant.
Right, today is Saturday.
So, what are some of those covenants?
For example, you must not be eating pork, shrimp, lobster, shell food, fish that don't have scale, and the Bible gives certain dietary laws to follow. You're supposed to worship other gods, Selassie, Jesus, when they call it Jesus, this is the white image. That's not the true image of the Heavenly Father. Right? As I said, the tribe of Judah is a dark-skinned tribe, and the man that you call Jesus, which his right name is Yahushua, he's from a dark tribe, Judah, which means that he's a dark-skinned person. The Bible says that as well. So you're worshiping, you're going against the Bible by worshiping Jesus Christ, right? Going into these temples as well. Those are synagogues of Satan. So they don't preach the Bible. They're not going to teach about Israelites and what you should follow according to the Bible. They're not going to teach you how to get back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So there are a lot of laws. No murder, commit idolatry. All these things I'm saying, the laws that existed.
The faith our break, mostly, our beer.
That's one of the law of the Bible also says that you should not do it. You must not mar, the corners of your beard, or your head. Meaning you're supposed to line up. You know what I mean? And it's supposed to a ball head either. So it's some people when them start reach the age and them start lose ear, them shine it off because they don't want to look like part of them ear low and part eye. That's against the Bible as well. You're supposed to ball your head. You know what I mean? So the laws exist in the scriptures that we should not be breaking, but we break them, and therefore we are enduring punishment today. And the punishment that I said to you is that this is one. Let me read it again. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 60 I'm going to read from 64. It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee, remember I said earlier, among all people, right? So, like I asked you earlier, do you have families in Europe? We were scattered in Europe as well, alright? And the Lord shall scatter thee from among all people, from the one end of the earth, from the west coast, from the west, from the east, sorry, my bad, from the east to the west, right? Even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers would have known, even wood and stone. And I mean, so that's what we're doing over here today. We are people are committing idolatry. And I mean, no, this is how it happened. This is verse 68. And it says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, back then, when we were in Egypt, as I mentioned earlier, that region is like one landmass really. They can walk from Israel to Egypt. Because that's what the Israelites did. They walked, journeyed from out of Egypt to their promised land. So it wasn't talking about that Egypt where we're going to go and ship back into the specific land. Egypt also means bondage or slavery. So the Bible is saying that you're going to go back into slavery, but this time with ships. And here it says, alright, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, the nation of Israel, thou shalt see it no more, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall free you. Because what happened in the auction blocks in slavery? They captured us, stuck us on slave ships, sailed across the ocean with us, and then put us back. Auction block, selling us to other people, I bidder. So we were sold for wine, money, prostitutes. That's what they did to us. They sold us to slave masters to come and build up Jamaica. Even in Jamaica now, you have people that were slave master descendants that would have benefited from our foreparents back. Mark Golden was one of the persons that his foreparents had slaves in Jamaica. There's some plantations in Jamaica that still belong to these so-called white people. You get what I say? So we are still this day in our captivity in the land of Jamaica, which is slavery, the land of our captivity, not knowing who we are. Because when we came in captivity, we were taught to do what? Change from our heritage. Stop living the way we were living in the land of Israel. So our culture became the white man culture. We start celebrating what? Christmas. The Bible says you're not supposed to celebrate that. That is a pagan custom. And I mean Easter, pagan custom. These are white people and other. They take it from other nations like Egypt customs, and them start them because white man don't really have culture for himself, you know. But he go about and steal people culture. You know about white history month and like that. You know because their history is about robbery, it's about murdering, stealing, rape and all these things. Their history is violence. So they're not going to promote that. We're still, they own the television stations them, but they promote Black History Month to our people. But they promote it with the sense that, oh, you are now free. But because back then you had chains on your neck, walking up and down, and you know, you're never free to go about your way. But today you can walk downtown, you can walk out. You know, you can do what you want to do today, so to speak.
So Esau was a white man?
Esau is a white man. Yeah, he was, and he still is a white man. The nation of Edom, and they're not white necessarily, let me get that into you. The nation of Edom is basically red. No one is white like the color white, no one is black like the color black.
So now I ask you a question. God ever say out of field mode, Esau who I hated?
Yes. God said that. God, I feel like Toyota, I feel like I already know these things. Right?
No, a man teach me them, I tell me them.
So you're here before I'm gonna read it for you, because the Bible said that. And I mean I'm gonna read it for you. Alright?
So, if you know if something goes on.
Right? Let me show you an example. You don't hear something from someone.
No,
God
said ear all time.
Yeah, he said that, man. I read it. Right? So I'm gonna get it for you. Romans. Alright, so this is Romans. I said more than once. Well, they were repeating it from Old Testament. Let me read it, right? It is Romans 11, and I'm going to read from. No, sorry, mistake that again. Sorry, right. Romans 9 and verse 11, right? This is Romans 9 and verse 11. It says, "For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, right? That the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." You see that? I'm going to show you where written, right? I'm sure the Bible is not contradicting itself, like other people might want to say, you know what I mean?
Romans 11 what?
Romans 9 and 11. Right? Let me get that real quick for you. So this is Malachi 1 and verse, from 1 to verse 3. And the burden of the Lord, of the word of the Lord to Israel, he says the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Right? "I have loved you, said the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?" Right? "Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Right? Said the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau." Right? And guess what I'm saying? "And I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places." Let me pause here a little for you. So, people are saying in the Bible, "Oh, you love me, and you give us so much hell to go through." Right? Because look at us now. We're at the bottom of the table, at the barrel, so to speak. But the white man, in a them eyes, or other people in a them eyes, are living better than us. Right? But God said, no. Look, compare yourself with me, with Esau. Because Esau, which is the Caucasian today, you know what I mean? You know where the Caucasian come from? He come from the Caucasus Mountains region in Russia. Right? So Edomites, so-called white man, were living in that region, walking on 2 feet and their 2 hands, like monkeys, ape, you know what I mean? Right? Living in rocks and caves. The Caucasian basically mean cave dwellers. Right, they are cave dwellers. They used to live in caves. If you just check about history, even know if I go and check have the internet, type in Caucasus Russia. Or even if you ask Caucasus Russia, right? Right. Or ask them themselves, they will tell you, because we did that before, we asked them themselves, where does the term Caucasian comes from? And you will know, Google it and you will know. We have smartphones around today to learn things. Right? That's what happened. They were impoverished, but they came back in what? The Renaissance period, the rebirth of what? Them. Because remember me tell you, they were ruling as Romans. At one point, they were ruling as Greeks and Romans at one point. But then they lost power of the earth. And they went into what? That dark period.